Hello students, welcome to the English class. Well students, we have already started with this new chapter on the face of it written by Suzanne Hill, and we have already completed with many of the many pages explanation. We have seen that how Derry and Mr. Lamb, they come into a conversation with each other, and through the dialogues how Mr. Lamb is able to understand that Derry is facing some serious crisis, okay, we can say a mental crisis, where he finds that everything is against him, and he has a very negative attitude towards life, and how Mr. Lamb, who is a very optimistic person, tries to convert Derry, or tries to change Derry's way of looking into life or looking into world, right? Well, students, in my last video lecture, I have gone through only till this much, that is, the Beauty and the Beast, it is all relative. It's all relative, Beauty and the Beast, okay? And I told that before continuing with the next video lecture, I will be giving you a short PPT on Beauty and the Beast in order to understand. In my last class, I have provided you with the Beauty and the Beast PPT. I hope you have all gone through, and if you have not gone, then please go through that one. Today, while I will proceed with the next line explanation, I will also go through that PPT video and then make you understand that what is the importance or significance of Beauty and the Beast in this particular context of the story, right? Okay. Now, before continuing with the next line, let's first see what was there in the PPT, right? Well, here is the PPT. On the face of it, Beauty and the Beast. In this PPT video, we will see the content, the fairy tale, the real meaning. What is Derry's viewpoint on this particular context, Beauty and the Beast? How does Mr. Lamb interpret the Beauty and the Beast? And then it's all relative, all is relative. What exactly Mr. Lamb wants to say through this particular line or through this particular phrase. Well, regarding Beauty and the Beast, the fairy tale, you all know the fairy tale. It's a very classic fairy tale where you know that there is a prince who was once cursed by an enchantress that he will be turned into a beast because the prince was very much obsessed with his own beauty. Okay, and then later on he was turned into a beast, and all his castle maids and castle servants were turned into cups and saucers, as you must have seen the Disney movie, right? And then how this beast was came across a merchant, and this merchant had three daughters. The elder two daughters were very selfish, but the youngest one was very beautiful, and so the merchant had done a merchandise with the youngest daughter to go and stay in the beast palace, right? And in view of his safety, means in view that he would be rescued from the clutches of the beast. And how this young girl, that is the youngest daughter, whose name was Belly, she had come to stay with the beast. And at the beginning, if she had loathed the beast also, at the end of the play we find that she had fallen in love with the beast, and later on she had really felt sorry for the beast because of the gentlemanly quality that the beast had. And with her teardrops, the beast, then all the curse was removed, and he turned out into the same again handsome prince, and they married each other. So Beauty and the Beast, when we have read that particular fairy story, what we have understood then and what we are understanding now, that is important. Okay, the beast is a beast in appearance and in many of his mannerism, okay, but on the inside he is actually kind. That is what is Beauty. Now if I say Beauty and the Beast, okay, here Beauty, when we were small, we were told Beauty means the young girl Belly, and Beast means that prince who was turned into a beast. But in reality, that is not so. Beauty and the Beast, if we see the title, then it is the prince himself, okay. The young girl has nowhere in the scene, in the title especially. The beast is beastly in the outer appearance but beautiful inside. So through this story, what exactly, because we know that all the moral, all those fairy stories or the fairy tales that we have read in our younger days, in our childhood days, we know every story has its own moral ending. So Beauty and the Beast also has its moral ending. In Beauty and the Beast, what the story wants to tell us is that we should not give importance to outer appearance. What is important is inside, the inner beauty. The beast was beastly looking, no doubt, but his manners, his behavior, his gentlemanly attitude, all this refers that he is actually a very beautiful person. Okay, and so therefore, this young girl, when she comes at the beginning, she might be very much afraid of this beast because of the outer appearance, but as she goes on staying with this beast, she falls in love with this beast. Okay, for her the outer appearance was not important. Then it was that man, it was that beauty that was inside the young prince which had taken her heart. Okay, so, as you can see here, it is also written, she ends up returning to the beast only to find him dying. When she proclaims her love for him and finally says yes to the question he has asked daily, the beast and the castle suddenly transform into a handsome prince and a gorgeous castle. The fairy then appears and explains to Beauty that this is the reward of your judicious choice. You have preferred virtue before either wit or beauty, and deserve to find a person in whom all these qualifications are united. So that is what is important. Okay, here the beauty, the fairy, when she comes and had turned the prince into a handsome prince, and as the and because Belly had accepted the beast with his beastful, because Belly had no idea that this particular beast was actually a prince, so she accepted beast because of his outer appearance. Okay, and thereby the fairy comes and rewards Belly. Okay, because it's a fairy tale, because therefore the ending has been made in this way. But if we see this particular line, you have preferred virtue before either wheat or beauty, that is important. Okay, because girl had decided that it is inner virtue which is important, not the beauty, the outward beauty of any person. Now, if we come to on the face of it, this particular story becomes very much relevant to what Derry and Mr. Lamb were talking about. Okay, if you see this particular thing, Derry knows the idea that the story Beauty and the Beast talks about. It talks about inner beauty and how, irrespective of the outside appearances, the inside always turns out victorious. Beauty falls in love with the soul of the apparent beast. However, Derry thinks it to be all false. Derry does not believe. He says that yes, everyone tells him about Beauty and the Beast. Okay, that is which what is inside, that is more important. Outward appearance is not important. Terry feels that these things can only happen in the fairy story or in the fairy tales. Okay, it cannot happen in the real life. Real life, it is not possible. Okay, and because no one is going to come and accept Terry because of his outward experience. That is how Terry interprets the story of Beauty and the Beast. He says that in reality, nobody would ever kiss a beast, nor would the beast ever transform as it happens in the story. He is very pessimistic about himself ever finding someone who would love and kiss him as Beauty does with the beast, and worries that all would just get scared of him. He has a major problem with the idea of transformation that is depicted in the story, as he finds it unreal. This further reflects his worries regarding his life, where he would have to live with the burnt face for the rest of his existence. Derry, in his fight with his appearance, has forgot to appreciate himself and love himself. Mr. Lamb tries to make him realize that his burnt face is not the only thing that defines him. Okay, so Derry's viewpoint of Beauty and the Beast is in a very pessimistic attitude, whereas Mr. Lamb tries to change this pessimistic attitude of Derry into something where Derry would like to love himself, would like to accept himself, not his face, but what he is inside. Now, if we see for Mr. Lamb, both have got similarities, and Mr. Lamb traces inferiority in Derry. Now, Mr. Lamb is also not a very beautiful person because he had a lame leg, so he is not a perfect beauty, okay? But Mr. Lamb does not care. His physical appearance is not at all a matter of fact for his life, okay? It is not at all an important fact in his life, okay? Mr. Lamb finds that what is inside a person, that is more important. In order to remove this complex, Mr. Lamb explains that he has a weed garden. There are flower plants in it, but for him, they all have life. They look beautiful and have utility as well. Well, in the last video lecture, we have gone through one particular line where Mr. Lamb told Derry that weeds Okay, why wheat is also a green a plant, a green plant having life? Why? But why it is called a weed? It is called rubbish, and it is not wanted in the what we can see in this in our garden. But another flowering plant is which is also green and life is very much wanted in the garden. Okay, why should we decide a thing's quality based on the outward appearance or physical appearance? Okay, why should not the inner quality be also given importance, right? He makes him understand that Derry is a boy like others. Then he reminds him the fairy tale of Beauty and the Beast, which Derry is, which sorry, here it is given Derry, but it will be actually Derry. Okay, so there is a printing mistake. Okay, I apologize for that. Please correct it. Those who are, if you are writing for that. Okay, Derry is fully aware of. He knows how a princess loves a beast who turns into a handsome prince when she kisses it. It is because he has something very beautiful inside him. It is thus the power of love that attracts the princess towards the beast. Derry is too good for from inside. His face is not important. The important thing is what he thinks and feels, what he wants to see and finds out. Mr. Lamb tells Derry that he has brain and limb. He can attain whatever he chooses in case he sets his mind on it. He should not care for others what they say. This is a very healthy effect. This has a very healthy effect on the boy. Okay? Of course, we will see by the end of the story, we will find that Derry is a completely transformed young boy. Okay, because Mr. Lamet continuously told Derry that don't look outside, look inside a person. Okay, and I have also told you in my last class that when we will be reading this particular story, we are going to divide the story into parts. We have already seen two parts of the story. Okay, that is two viewpoint. Okay, that how we should look at thing and how what should we give importance to. Okay, so here we are going to in my next video lecture also we will see that what is the next part that we are proceeding to. So Mr. Lamet always told Derry, or continuously is telling Derry, that don't give importance to your face. Okay, you have the ability, try to explore those abilities. Okay, and then try to make something useful of it, bring the utility of those abilities, and then Derry could shine. Okay, instead of avoiding the society, let him accept the society, let him go along with the society. Okay, and that will make him shine in the world or in his future. Now, all is relative. When Mr. Lamb told that it is all relative, what exactly does he mean? Mr. Lamb means to say that different people have different viewpoints to look at the same thing. Some find one thing beautiful, others find it ugly. It all depends on one's outlook and attitude. It is therefore important to adopt a positive attitude to everything in life, just like the princess. Beauty, who loved monstrous beast in the fairy tale, but the beast, although he was the prince, failed to discover his reality. The point is that you are not what you look like, but what you are inside. So all is relative. What is beauty and what is beast? All starting with B. Okay, everything is starting with B, beauty or beast. But what is inside is important. Okay, ugly or good looking doesn't matter. As I am continuously telling through the entire PPT, what is inside, the inner beauty, the inner quality, the inner virtues are important. Okay, like you are gentle, you are kind to someone, you are sympathetic towards someone, and you behave very good with some people. Okay, with all the people. So that is what is important. It is not how we look is important, and that is what Mr. Lamb means with the line, it is all relative. Well, students, still this much was the PPT. Now we will go to the video, that line by line explanation. Okay, so let's proceed to our next slide. So students, we have done till this much, that is, it's all relative, Beauty and the Beast. And I hope now this particular point is very, very clear to you all, because this is what the main story is about. This is what the main theme of the story is about. Okay, so let's continue. So Derry says, what's that supposed to mean? So when suddenly Mr. Lamb takes upon this particular point that Beauty and the Beast, it's all relative, Derry asks that what does Beauty and the Beast have to do with here and now? Mr. Lamb says, you tell me. Derry says, you needn't think they haven't all told me that fairy story before. It's not what you look like, it's what you are inside. Handsome is as handsome does. Beauty loved the monstrous beast for himself, and when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. Only he wouldn't. He would had have stayed a monstrous beast. I won't change. Okay, so Derry says that yes, I have heard that fairy tale many a times. Okay, that is beauty had accepted the beast because of his manners, not because of his outer appearance. But as Derry says, that happens only in the story. Okay, and this will not happen in the real life. He is not going to change. In that way, no, you won't. So Mr. Lamb says that no, if you think that your outward appearance will change like in the fairy story, of course it is not going to change. You will remain like that only. If someone comes and kiss you also, then also you will remain, means Derry is going to remain in that way only. Derry is not going to change. And Derry says, and no one will kiss me ever. And Derry says, then and who will kiss me? Okay, kiss here means who is going to accept him, who will love him. Okay, only my mother, and she kisses me on the other side of my face, and I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. So Derry says that actually she is that he knows that no one is going to accept him, no one is going to love him or kiss him. It is only his mother who loves him, okay, or who kisses him, and that also on that side of the face which is perfect, okay, not on the burnt side. And why does the mother, Derry thinks that why does his mother, or why do his mother kisses him? Okay, maybe because she has to, because she wants to show that how much she loves her son. Okay, but Derry doesn't want that. Derry does not want any sympathy from anyone. Okay, he is utterly disappointed with this kind of attitude from the family members or from the society that he receives, right? So Derry says that I don't want that. Mr. Lamb, but do you care if you never kiss them? So when Derry says that who is going to accept me, who is going to love me, so Mr. Lamb then asks another question. See, in a very reversal form, he asks the question, what about you? Do you love others? Do you kiss others? Others might not want to, but what about yourself? Okay, we are always pointing at others, we always blame others that they have not done, he had not done, she had not done. Okay, as if I have done everything. Okay, so that is the wrong point of view. This is what Mr. Lamb is actually trying to say, that this is the wrong point. Okay, we are not going to say that thing that he had done or she had done. We are going to say that what I have done, let others do whatever they like. That is their life. What have I done with my life? What have I given in return? So that is what Derry says, that Mr. Lamb says that how do you care that if you do you care if you have never kissed them? What? So Derry was surprised to hear this kind of thing, that Derry is going to love someone or kiss someone. Girls, pretty girls, long hair and large eyes, people you love. Derry, who would let me? No one. So Derry has brought out the conclusion that no one is going to love him, and he will also not be given, anyone will not give him the chance for him to express his love. Okay. Mr. Lamb says, who can tell? So Mr. Lamb says that who can tell this? Okay, whether people will accept you or not, or whether people will allow you or not. Have you ever tried to approach? Okay, because Derry had always avoided people, had shunned people. So did Derry ever try to approach that? Yes, I also want to be accepted. I won't ever look different. When I am as old as you, I will look the same. I'll still only have half a face. So Derry says that I'm not going to change, okay? When Derry will be as old as Mr. Lamb, Derry knows that he will look the same only. So if he looks like this, then how will people accept him, or how he will be also telling people or approach people that, okay, accept me? So you will. Mr. Lamb said that yes, physical appearance will remain like this, but the world won't. But the world is not like that. Okay. Now you might be facing people who are saying that, sympathizing you, or telling that, oh, what an ugly boy. But maybe as Derry is going to grow up, maybe he will see another different means part of the world. The world's got a whole face, and the world's there to be looked at. So what Mr. Lamb wants to say here is that the world's got a whole face. Actually, Mr. Lamb wants to say that Derry's face, okay, whatever Derry's face is, it is half burned. So Derry had seen only half part of the world, but the world is full. Okay, Derry must have seen only half of the world. The rest of the world Derry still needs to explore. Okay, Derry needs to see the rest of the world. Okay, that world has a full face. Okay, do you think this is the world? This old garden? No, Jerry is very upset and says that what do you know about the world? Means he asks Mr. Lamb that what Mr. Lamb knows about the world. This garden, this is the only world of Mr. Lamb. He had never gone outside. He had never met with the people outside the garden. Okay, so or outside that particular town. So what would Mr. Lamb know about this world? Mr. Lamb says, when I am here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. So Mr. Lamb says that yes, when he is in the garden, then the garden is his world. So wherever he is, that becomes his world. Okay. And that is what is important. Why to consider or think about and just waste your time by thinking what people or what other worlds are going to say or what in my future will happen. When you are here, then you think about this as your world. You think this is your present. And that is important, not what will happen in the later time or what is going to happen outside or what is actually happening outside. That is not important. When I am here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. So Derry says, does your leg hurt you? So Derry is now considering, pondering on the fact that why Mr. Lamb is never telling about his leg. Okay, because Derry had been continuously telling about his face. Mr. Lamb had hardly told about his leg. So Derry asks that your legs, does it hurt you? Tin doesn't hurt, boy. So Mr. Lamb said it is made of tin and tin doesn't hurt, okay? When it came off, did it? So Derry said that no, when your leg was blown off. And Mr. Lamb said, certainly, of course, isn't it? And now, I mean, where the teen stops at the top, and then Derry says, and now, where means where your skin and your teen got attached to, does that particular portion hurt? Mr. Lamb, now and then, in wet weather, it doesn't signify. So Mr. Lamb says that yes, sometimes, especially when it is a rainy time, okay, that time it really hurts. But that doesn't matter. Okay, Mr. Lamb is least bothered about his teen leg or of the pain that his body is suffering. He is least bothered about all this. Derry, oh, that's something else, they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. So Derry says that yes, there are these things are also there. When Derry found that Mr. Lamb hardly complains about his disabilities, Derry says that yes, there are people who tells all this thing that look at those people who are really in a very bad physical condition, yet they never complain and they are going on with their life. Okay, so this is the thing also which Derry had heard. And Mr. Lamb said that I haven't said it. So Mr. Lamb said, but I have never said this, that this way you have to see or you have to think. Derry, and think of all those people worse off than you. Think you might have been blinded or born deaf or have to live in a wheelchair or be daft in your head and dribble. And then there he goes on to say that yes, he had heard people saying that there are some people who are blind, there are deaf people, and there are people who are living their whole life in a wheelchair or maybe daft in your head and dribble. Daft in your head means idiot, okay, or something who is mentally disabled. Okay, so those people, okay, so look at those people. They are not complaining with their lives and they are continuing with their life. They are going on with their life. So what is the wrong with Derry? So Derry says that he has heard all these things before also, where people have come and advised to him about all these things. So Derry, in this particular line also we find that Mr. Lamb is trying to input the positive attitude towards Derry, but Derry is still having the negative attitude, is still very much what we can say having a very pessimistic attitude towards his life. Okay, so students, I have done till this much today. Okay, until here we find that Derry is somewhere attracted to Mr. Lamb, because at the beginning of the story we find that Derry said that I have to go, I have to go. He was going on telling that. Okay, but till now we found that Derry is still stuck into this garden. He is attracted to Lamb. Okay, he knows that he is getting something very interesting facts from Lamb. Okay, though he is now also at this point also he is not completely changed, but we will find that slowly and steadily the changes had will be coming over to him. Students, till this much I have explained today, that is page 60. Okay, please go till this much. Okay, go through the video lecture till this much. If there is any doubt, any problem you are facing, then please clarify your doubts in the classroom from me. Okay, thank you, students. Study well.